Welcome back to another enigmatic episode of the Ad Files. And welcome back, the hairy man hunter himself, Daniel of Arius and the Nation.
Yes, it's much. Hairy Manhunter is much better than a Furry Manhunter. Much better, always. But yes, it's good to be back. Good to be back. Thank you for having me. It is. We took a little bit of a time. I took a little bit of a week, honestly, to get away. So
a long break.
yeah, a long break. But it's good to be back. Feel like I'm back home.
Did the nation fall apart without you?
Never. The nation is mad strong. That's our slogan.
We're mad strong.
Mad strong, bro.
We're not just strong, we're mad strong.
Mad strong. No, man. So when you told me what we might be discussing, I'm here for it because it touches on one of my biggest irrational fears out there.
So it touches you.
Nothing ever touches me emotionally, spiritually.
But nothing physically.
Nothing physically.
Nothing physically. Nothing physically ever touches you.
No,
not in a bad way.
I am
no bad touch.
I had no bad touch. I am in the island. It's a good song. Bloodhound Gang. Awesome. Bad touch. And so that's how we get derailed this quickly in the podcast.
Jesus. Oh man.
So what we got to talk about, man?
Well. In the spirit of Halloween, today's episode, we will be talking about one of the world's best known scary creatures of the night, the werewolf. But about now, you might be asking, but Av, what is a werewolf?
What is a werewolf?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Daniel. A werewolf is a mythical creature that's usually a human or person who changes into a wolf or wolf-like creature, usually during a full moon. When changing into its wolf form, it's involuntary and is unusually accompanied by heightened aggression and a strong desire to hunt for human flesh.
Ooh.
The creature has been around and part of various cultures and legends throughout history, with variations in their characteristics and origins. In many stories, the transformation into a werewolf is often associated with a type of curse or supernatural affliction. The methods for becoming a werewolf or curing the curse, which is called lycanthropy, which I actually didn't know what it was called. I just thought you were a werewolf.
Oh yeah, right? It's like, what do you got? I have a little bit of the werewolf.
Right. I mean, I guess everything has its scientific name, you know?
Yeah. So. I mean, and everyone knows werewolves are science. Like, it's just part of it.
It's fact.
Yeah. But oh man. Anyway, yeah.
Lycanthropy.
Yeah, gotta love the like lycanthropy or lycanthropy. I've heard
lycanthropy. Which one is it?
Me like anthropy.
I lycanthropy.
I lycanthropy.
It can vary widely in different traditions. The origin of werewolves in ancient time is the idea of shape-shifting humans, which date back to ancient times. They can be found in many ancient cultures and can also be found in mythological and numerous civilizations. There were beliefs in beings or deities with the ability to transform into animals, including wolves. In Greek mythology, King Lycan ruled over the region of Arcadia and was known for his cruelty and wickedness. He was said to be so cruel that he decided to test the divinity of Zeus himself. King Lycan invited Zeus to a banquet and served him the flesh of a sacrificed child, trying to see if Zeus had the divine knowledge and could discern what he had done. Zeus, enraged by this sacrilege, transformed Lycan into a wolf as punishment. This transformation marked the origin of the term lycanthropy, which refers to the condition of being a werewolf or transforming into a wolf.
And guys, for all of you guys that are watching this, lucky for us, we have an image. of this exact thing, picked out of history itself.
That's an actual photo that was taken back then.
That's 12p. That's 12p.
Right.
I love that. Not a cell phone in sight, just people living in the moment.
Man, that's pretty rough.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what's going on here.
That's a bad day for the babies. Like this whatever this is mad crazy because you have this wagon wheel stuck in the ground. You have the people in the freaking top hats, like, and this guy either getting branded or having stuff pulled out of him. And
yeah, it seems pretty rough what's going on here.
yeah, it's probably a Monday. It's a Monday for these people. At least it looks like you have like 4 dead people and then 1 baby getting killed by lycanthrope. Mauled to death by lycanthrope. Or werewolf.
Well, it's a lycanthrope, not a lycanthrope.
Yes. Yes. It's a lycanthrope. You put the can in the lycan. Exactly. I like that can-do attitude. No, but you know, it begs to there are multiple cultures out there with shape-shifting lore, you know, and it's interesting. It's just interesting to me because it's found all over the like the world in different cultures. Like in Native America, the First Nation people referred to shapeshifters as the Wendigo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that usually is depicted as a forest person
It
with
looks like a wolf,
antlers.
right?
Yeah,
Is it deer
I don't
antlers
know.
or is it more like a wolf?
I don't
Not
know
like a
what
wolf,
it
but it
is.
has like it just looks like a creature.
Yeah, and then you have like the dog man of all the
And
different kinds of mountains.
that's actually associated. I guess they associate the dog man with werewolves
Mm,
because it's a dog man. Looks like a werewolf.
got it, got it. So it's more man. It's like a Sasquatch got clipped by a werewolf and doesn't know which way to turn. It's like
Yeah,
what
something
it's
like
like
that.
this weird like combination. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
But
it's weird.
uh, just I have to give some credence to like the shape shifting part of it. I thought it was just like, okay, this guy turns into a wolf. Like like that's you know, I feel like no one would ever witness, let's say this is gonna sound crazy. All right, let's just say, let's just put it out there. It's true. How do they know? How does anyone know? Because from all the scientific movies we've all watched,
Hmm.
they black out, they wake up, and then they're human form, usually covered in blood. They don't know what happened. So does that mean someone watched them change? Like, because usually those people that watch them change don't make it out.
Right, because they end up eating them,
Yeah,
killing them or
they're too
whatever.
close. Yeah,
Right.
so it's
Or it could be uh in a sense of there's a kind of like vampires. Like so there's a guy that's been there the longest and goes around and bites you and you have the werewolf curse.
mhm,
So, he knows you there, he knows you're a werewolf and stuff like that.
interesting,
If I had to
interesting,
guess, you know.
interesting. No, man. I was out at a young age, man. I was just terrified of werewolves. I remember my mother got me a Stephen King book called I think it was like The Cycle of the Werewolf.
Mm.
I don't know why. Freaking terrified me.
To read it to you before you went to
Terri
bed?
Yeah. I mean, no. And she was like, here this is. You know, here's this. Read up on it. And I'm like, holy crap! It ended up being the priest. Like, was the werewolf? Holy crap! And it blew my mind. And I'm like,
Wait. Isn't that Silver Bullet?
probably, probably. I
Have
don't
you ever
know. I
seen that
don't
movie?
know.
It's a Stephen King book. It's called Silver Bullet. Is it about a kid in a wheelchair?
No, no, it is not. It is not. It's about this town that hear noises hear like these howling noises from this cabin in the woods up in the valley or up in the mountains every so often, and there's no wolves. And pretty soon the howls start spreading around different cabins certain times of the month. And then people started going missing and people started dying and finding pieces of people around. And then some person deduces that there's a werewolf issue. And so they run to hide in the church. And then it's the priest who's turned into a werewolf that got everyone werewolved. He got him werewolved.
He got him werewolfed. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
Because I
yeah.
think there's a movie it's an old movie, and it's called Silver Bullet, and the priest turns out to be the spoiler alert. It's only been out for 40 years, but the priest turns out to be the werewolf. So the kid goes to, I forget where. I actually want to say like South Carolina or North Carolina, I think. Anyway, he goes somewhere to live with his uncle or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in a wheelchair. Oh yeah, because I think he's with his mom, and they go visit his her brother. It's his uncle, and he's like
Mm-hmm.
the cool uncle. He gives him like fireworks and all this other stuff. Well, he builds him a motorized wheelchair, not like Professor X, not as cool as Professor X, but it's got
Gotcha.
like a handle on it, and it goes like really fast, and he's out there and he's shooting rockets, but he figures out that the priest of the town is a werewolf.
That's wild. Now
Actually, pretty cool.
dude. That sounds awesome. I'm terrified, and this is why. This is why I'm terrified of werewolves. Um, it's because I have a lack of silver bullets. Vampires, run of the mill vampires. Okay, holy water, steak, crosses. You can
Garlic.
garlic, like all like you have to invite them to your house. Like werewolves tear shit up. They're coming at you. Like, where are you gonna get a magazine full of silver bullets? It's not underworld.
That's why you got to make
Like,
your own. You need one of those the thing to make your own
yeah,
bullets, man.
yeah, and that's the thing. That's why it terrified me. It's like I don't know that guy. I don't know who that guy could be. So it's one of those. I'm like, I just because there's a lack of a way to beat them, that's what terrified me. Like I was just like, okay, I don't F with that. Like if they're real, they'll destroy everything. So, let me just go out there on that limb. As a kid, that's how I thought. And as an adult, I stand by the way I thought when I was a kid. They would still destroy everything.
Let me ask you a question. This is might be a little off topic. Your mom did your mom believe in a lot of that stuff?
No, no, not at all. She was just like, have nightmares.
Because
Like,
I swear that I can't remember if she actually told me or if you told me that one time some dog looking creature or thing was like in your backyard.
oh, that was probably us. That was probably us. It was
No,
there.
it
There
was
was
you.
some
I know it
like
was you guys, but I couldn't remember if it was your mom said it or if you said it.
there was one time a creature that was unidentifiable in our backyard. Now, for the people listening, my backyard it bordered a field. Put it
Your
that
old
way. There
backyard. This is
was
your old backyard.
yeah,
But
like
we could go back there and shoot.
yeah, yeah. It wasn't like maybe from the back of my door to the woods was at least 6 acres, like straight.
Hmm.
Um, and there was one time where there was something out there that she was freaked out by. She's like, "What is that?"
Yeah, I remember her telling me about that, which I
Yeah.
found very int and I obviously never forgot it.
Yeah.
And I think I can't remember if you told me this or she said it, that you guys thought that there was, like, some kind of facility, like, a few miles down the road that you guys felt like every once in a while something got out.
Oh, for sure. For sure. We were on the back end of Montgomery County, and it usually country places, nice quiet towns, nice open area of like fields surrounded by fields and woods. That's where the government puts their what is it? Research and development places out there in those sticks.
Missile
So,
silos.
yeah, Mr. Silos, stuff like that. I'm just like, very well, it could very well have happened like that. Now,
Mhm.
could it have been a coyote with mange? Possibly. Possibly.
But she said it had stripes.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. Or was it just a beat up small human with claws and a snout? You know?
Maybe
So it's like there's no good end to it.
it was a zebra with with mange.
Yeah, there's a zebra with mange. Now that's yeah, I honestly I had forgotten about that. There are times there were times when I would sleep in the summer nights out there in the country. We would have the windows open, you could hear all the
Mhm.
noises in the woods, and there would just be screams, like blood curdling screams coming from the woods. And I'm like, glorious,
But
freaking
wasn't
glorious.
that, like, usually the foxes? I know foxes, it's
Hmm.
either foxes or rabbits that have, like, those that it sounds like somebody's getting murdered in the
Yeah,
woods. And
I
it's
think it
weird because
had
it happens in the middle of the night.
uh, it had to be foxes.
Yeah.
Had to be foxes. But anyway, that's terrifying. But there's no werefox, guys. There's no werefox, thank
No,
God.
no.
Um,
That would be terrifying.
that yes, that would be terrifying. Oh, a werefox. He doesn't bite you. He just goes to your freaking trash and he'll
Where
shit
fuck.
in your driveway. Um, yeah, that would be some shit. And that's my other question is why wolves? Like, because the original shapeshifters could shapeshift into anything, you know?
Well, yeah,
And it's
because
like
you could
what
a lot of them. They said they could shape shift into, I guess, just about any type of animal. But you think about a wolf. I mean, what's terrifying? Shape shifting into a bird or shape shifting into a wolf.
well, no, that's where I think we've lost it, right? It's like when you shapeshift, you turn into said animal that you're shape shifting into. You don't turn
Hmm.
into this weird monster fucking. You don't turn into this humanoid. You turn into the animal. That's
Right, right,
where
right.
it
It's like if you shape shift into a caterpillar, you turn into a caterpillar. You don't turn into like a half man, half
yeah.
caterpillar. You don't have, you're not like this huge, gigantic caterpillar with man arms and like,
Yeah. No,
you
you're
know,
not doing that.
yeah,
Yeah, no. No, so that's where I'm like, okay, the shape-shifting thing has been around a long time. The
yeah,
werewolf thing is
yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit different. Like, I feel like
right.
that just adds a whole different layer of complication to believe that.
No, but you're right. It shape shifting cultures have been around for I mean,
Yeah.
thousands of years. Thousands of years. Every
Yes.
culture has this type of
Yep.
shape-shifting creature or has a shape-shifting creature. Even
Yep.
like back in Aztec Mayan times. I mean, I'm pretty sure they had all that kind of stuff too.
Oh, yeah. No, that's what I feel like. It's like a common denominator in all these ancient cultures is like they had a god of mischief that could shape shift and stuff. Like this is one of
Yeah.
his things. And but the werewolf thing is kind of for me it's like newer. Like I feel like people get terrified of stuff that they don't really understand and they just here it is. And I don't know. It could be a misidentification of a cryptid, possibly.
So
But then
would you put a werewolf in the cryptid bubble? I honestly don't
I don't think
wouldn't put a
so.
werewolf in a cryptid bubble.
No, because the
Some people
cryptids.
do.
But why? Cryptids can't change back to human. You know what I mean? Like werewolf to me is like a curse. It would be put under curses and stuff like that. Not like
Curses are like monster type, you know?
yeah, like that's up there with vampires. Vampires not a cryptid.
Vampires.
Yeah. Yes, vampires. Not umpires, but vampires. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't put werewolf under cryptid. I think it would be lore more so than cryptid. Like
But oh no,
Sasquatch,
yeah,
Mothman, um, it's like yeah, the even the dogmen, right? Even the dogmen, they don't turn into human. They're just dogmen. That's a
dog
cryptid.
dog men or dog man.
Dog. I believe it's dog people.
Dog
Depends.
persons.
Dog persons. So, but they don't that myth that surrounds the dog humanoids. Um, they don't they don't turn
How
back into
dare you
human.
assume? Yeah, because
Yeah,
they're always a
yeah.
mutt.
We don't identify. We don't identify as human or wolf. We're dog
I am
people.
non-binary
I'm a
dog.
I identify as dog and man. God. But
Dog
yeah,
day.
man. So werewolves are like this cheat code. I don't
Werewolves,
think you can put
yes.
them under cryptid. They have this solid grasp on monster in my book.
So
But
that's what we'll do. We'll put them
uh,
in the monster category.
yeah,
No, I mean, I kind of feel like that. I kind of feel like I don't really feel like they're a cryptid. Like you said, it's a person that supposedly turns into a creature, and unwillingly turns into a creature,
yeah,
then turns back after the full moon. And because they can only do it at like only during a full moon.
yeah.
It's not like they can do it
So
whenever they want.
yeah, so just avoid uh woods. Avoid woods during a full moon. That's a good way to not get attacked by a werewolf.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that would be there. Like you know what I mean. Like I feel like what are the chance a cryptid would be like? What are the chances of you running into this? Could you avoid it?
Hmm.
And yeah, yeah. I've lived 36 years, knock on wood, without ever running into a werewolf. So that's
Interesting.
at least on yeah, that's on my end. But yeah, man.
So, yeah, well, I've never run into a werewolf either. So, thank God. Knock on wood, I've never run into one of those suckers. Thank you. I honestly don't know what I'd do if I ran into one. I actually the
Well,
only thing I would do is die.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's high up there on the things to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
die.
they're
No,
not they're, yeah, I die. They're not as cool as the werewolves from Twilight though. They're not
no,
like
and
those
that's the
cool.
question. That was kind of my next question, really, to everyone. What is the werewolf that scares you the most that's been depicted out there? If you could pick any kind of movie, any kind of movie's werewolf, which one terrifies you the most?
Well, I know which one would terrify me the least.
Oh, true.
Definitely the Twilight
Which one is that?
werewolves.
Twilight. Yeah, what Twilight movie
Twilight
would be
ones, yeah, because I just
more
kind of
likely to
even
freaking?
even the vampire aspect of those movies, they don't really scare me. It's kind of
No,
like, look at
I
me, I'm a
sparkle in
werewolf.
the sunlight.
Okay, how gay can you be? It sparkles so hard.
100%.
I, well, I tell you what, the one werewolf that would scare me, I think, is American Werewolf in London.
Yep.
I don't know if you ever
I
I don't know
was
if you ever seen that one.
yeah.
That one right
That's
there.
the one. That's the one. That's the one for me. That's like burned into my memory.
Yeah, that one
Yes.
right there would scare the crap out of me. Oh man, there used to be, and I remember when I was younger, there used to be a show. I don't remember the name of it, but it was a werewolf show. It wasn't like Teen Wolf. It was a guy that got attacked. He obviously got attacked, turned into a werewolf. And his mission was to find whoever turned him into a werewolf and kill him so he could stop turning into a werewolf. And it was actually a pretty badass show, but I forget the name of it. Oh my
Hmm.
god, I just try to look it up. But it was actually a really it looked from what I remember of it, it was a pretty cool show. If I watched it now, it's probably like it'd probably be really
Yeah, like
stupid.
you could probably binge that. It's probably on YouTube. It's probably like
You know what?
7 or 8 episodes.
No, it was actually on for I think like 2 seasons, 2 or 3 seasons.
And but I
Because
feel
it was
like
interesting. It
any
had a story. It wasn't
yeah,
cheesy like some high school kid that would like fell in love with this
play
girl, but
basketball. You play
yeah,
basketball and
yeah,
but
sunglasses.
sunglasses, basketball, Teen Wolf. Awesome.
The Teen Wolf.
Um, it's funny, like you look at these old TV series when you were a kid, you're like, oh man, this must have been going on forever. You look at like the series and it's like only 12
One season.
episodes. You're like,
Yeah,
what? Yeah. But anyway, werewolves, man. Back in the day, back in the day. Uh
back in the day.
yes.
Back in the day. So, some of the earliest sightings or tales of werewolves in early European folklore were in medieval Europe. The belief in werewolves was widespread at this time. Accounts of werewolf sightings, attacks, and trials date back to the late Middle Ages and through the Renaissance. The werewolf trials of
Mm.
France, also known as the all right, now I practiced this and I was hoping that I didn't mess it up. Loup-garou trials were a series of witch trials that took place in the 16th and 17th century and during a period of widespread belief in witches and other supernatural phenomena. These trials were not specifically focused on werewolves, but were part of the broader witch hunting hysteria that swept across Europe during that time. In some of these trials, individuals were accused of being not only witches, but also of transforming into werewolves. The
Oh,
accusations involved claims of shape-shifting, using magic to take on wolf-like appearance, and engage in acts of violence and witchcraft. One of the most famous cases of werewolf trials, of the Loup-garou trials, was of the man named Gilles Garnier. Garnier was one of the more famous cases of alleged werewolf, of one of the werewolf trials in Europe during the 16th century. Garnier was a hermit who lived in the French province uh, in 1573. He was accused of turning into a wolf and committing a series of gruesome acts, including attacking and killing children and livestock. Garnier's case was brought to the attention of the authorities when a wave of panic and fear swept through the region due to a series of mysterious attacks on humans and animals. Villagers reported that a wolf like creature was responsible for these attacks, and it was believed to be a loup-garou. The authorities began to investigate, and suspicion fell on Garnier. During his trial, Garnier confessed to his actions, claiming that he had made a pact with the devil, with Satan himself, that allowed him to transform into a
damn.
wolf. He admitted to committing acts of cannibalism, particularly against children.
Oh
Garnier's
my god.
confession was obtained under duress and likely involved torture, what was a common practice during witch trials and loup-garou trials of the time. Garnier was found guilty of lycanthropy, whatever, of being a werewolf,
Yeah.
and other crimes related to his supposed transformation and attacks. He was subsequently executed in a gruesome manner, typically reserved for cases of witchcraft and lycanthropy during that era. Garnier was burned at the stake in 1573. Garnier's trial is often cited as an example of the superstition and fearful atmosphere of the time, which led to the persecution of individuals accused of supernatural crimes. The case also illustrates how confessions were often obtained through coercion and torture during the witch trials and lycanthropy trials in the 16th and 17th centuries.
That's crazy. Now let me just point something out. You
Yeah.
know, I love watching Swamp People, right, on the History Channel.
Hmm.
And my dude, the Chudum, that guy, right?
Hmm.
Um, he, when they go talking to their people, or they have this like, you know, they're in the woods after dark, and one of the stories that he always brings up is the Lougarou.
Hmm.
Like, so it's like it's interesting that that's French, and over down there in Louisiana, they're French Creole. Like, so dude, I don't know, man. Like I said, every effing culture has the same thing. It has a shapeshifter, and it has a werewolf. I feel like you can't the medieval times where it was a silly place.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like, you are a werewolf. You
Yeah.
are a werewolf. Say
Well,
you're a,
it was like if you're a
it's
witch, like if
yeah,
you tell me that you're not prove to me you're not a witch. So they would like tie him up and throw him in the lake or in a river or something like that. And if they came to the top, then they were a witch. And if they sank, then they weren't a witch. But then you kill this person.
you're either way they're dead.
Right.
So
So it's
so
like
it but I feel like a lot of times if someone is, let's say, because I know it is a mental disorder,
mhm.
to think that you're this, but how come it's always thinking that you're a werewolf? You're always, and there's no person that thinks there's no were guinea pigs. It's always a werewolf or
Not
some
yet.
like, yeah, not yet. Not yet. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But the werewolf thing, man, it's crazy, it's creepy. I do believe that there are, let's say, shapeshifters and stuff we don't know. But I feel like that is borderline. You could talk about the spirit realm, demonic realm, stuff like that with shapeshifting. And that
Yeah,
that could
well,
that could be it
shape-shifting
too.
shape-shifting, I do believe like yeah, when you start to go through like that type of um down that road. Yeah, like shape-shifting does take a big part of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it could be, and with shape shifting stuff, that could be whatever it is, cloaking. That could be a cloaking thing.
Mhm.
It could be a highly advanced technology, you know, and it could be like a guy's, but werewolf, I can't go out there on that limb. I can't, because then the guy that thinks he's a werewolf and then he bites you and all you get is like a staph infection. Like that's it's
Ow.
like
Gosh.
damn it, Steve. You know, like I don't know, man. I can't see it. I can't go with it. Obviously, it's so common though. It's so common, and that's the one thing that like gives it all sort of like this weird like credence. It's like
Mhm.
it's everywhere. It's not just one place. It's not like Jim's family from up the road is the only one talking about a werewolf. They didn't make it up. Everyone
Right.
has the same effing story that has never met each other. Cultures that would never have shared anything have the same myths and shit.
Right. Right.
So, I that's the one thing that's just very infuriating to me when I'm trying to like poke holes and stuff. I'm like, how do you explain that? Everyone has the ark, the story of the ark, a
Mhm.
big boat, big flood, the flood myth, like everyone has that.
Well,
Everyone across the board, and it's proven that
right.
it was
There was a big
global.
flood. So I mean, well, yeah, I mean, everyone does have their Jesus.
Yeah,
You know, it's just the same thing.
yeah.
It's in all the cultures and something. There's something there.
But but just to be honest, guys, we are not calling our good friend here Jesus. Far from it.
No, no, no. That's the
If that is your
lycanthropy.
Jesus, if that is your Jesus,
More power to
sweet
you.
Lord, more power to you. My God.
But he is suffering from lycanthropy.
Yes. Or having way too many fanged teeth per square inch in his mouth.
Okay, so you see this picture of a werewolf, right?
Yes.
So let's just say, I don't know, some guy that's overweight and really lazy gets bit. He's a werewolf. So when he changes to a werewolf, he's going to be this jacked. He's going to look this good.
No. I can't go with that. Like that's my thing. It's like you turn back into you have like see that's the thing. It's like okay, so you change into something else completely, right? Or you don't. Or you get a fucking tubby werewolf. And that's not
So
as
then you just,
intimidating.
yeah, it's not as scary anymore that like you can actually outrun that werewolf.
Yeah, like, oh, that that werewolf suffers from high blood pressure and
Diabetes.
and diabetes and diabetes werewolf. Just give it some time.
Right.
He's either gonna die from insulin levels or the mood will change back.
Yeah. So so that's probably what you hear digging through your trash can. Since because he can't run after anybody, so he has to
No,
find food
definitely
wherever
can.
he can.
Yeah. He's that the garbage werewolf.
Yeah. Well, this yeah, because this one is jacked. Like
Yeah,
he's
I'm
awesome.
not making
He
it.
looks like
I'm
he has
not
roid rage right now.
yeah, he's just or he looks like he stepped on a Lego or like
Yeah, he looks like yeah, he looks like Brock Lesnar was a werewolf and stepped
yeah.
on a Lego. That's what he'd
Yes.
look like.
I feel like this see right here, right? This is when you would know that werewolves exist, right? And you are let's say if you're the person, let's say this was a you're seeing this scene. Man just emerged from this whatever it is, smoke cloud, and he's this. Well, guess what? You're not telling anyone because my dude here is going to rip you to shreds and you're not outrunning him
He looks like he's no, oh Jesus, no way, not even close. You would maybe get 2 or 3 steps
possibly.
at best,
Maybe.
because yeah. No, he looks like he's making an entrance at like a wrestling entrance with all the smoke
Yeah.
and everything, and he's just like, "Whoa."
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And there's the theme song is probably either Creed or Aqua. The entrance
With
song.
arms wide
The-
open.
or Dancing Queen. Yeah, that's it. But I don't know, man. Like werewolves, it I feel like we got
Werewolves,
off
man.
topic.
No,
Werewolves,
we
man.
always do,
Like
but
it
it's okay.
just but I feel like that is one of the most that is one of the most terrifying afflictions out there. If it is true, then holy shit, we would have already been taken over. Look how quick. Just put it this way: if there is an affliction, if there is like, let's say, tinfoil hat on, if it is real, there should be tons of these things. Tons.
Well, that's the thing,
It,
like, there is, nobody knows about it. Like, they'll hide in the woods, they're the loner guy that sits in the cabin, you know,
but
and I mean, they're all over the place. Plus, I mean, you could have a couple werewolves in, like, a small remote area.
and what have a pack of them?
Well, they're wolves.
Yeah. So then you would notice the population of a village kind of sort of disappearing during the nightlife during the lunar cycle. And remember, a full moon over here is a full moon over somewhere else. So
Mhm.
it's like we have
Right,
a
right, 'cause
massive gathering
a full
in a
moon is a full
county.
moon.
Yeah, it's not just one town. It's
Right.
everywhere. So you would notice a
Right.
big
Right.
gathering
I don't
of
know, man.
canine.
That is a good observation.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, during the full moon, our whole village is empty. That's weird. Don't go to that village.
Right.
That's the okay, weird. Wolf attacks are on the up and up. Well, we live on an island. Don't go to that place. You know, don't.
Mhm.
Anyway, if there are wolf
Anyway.
attacks and there are no wolves around, don't go there. Don't go to that place. That is not a good place to be.
No, honestly, I'm terrified to go hiking only because well, actually, you're scared of werewolves. I'm scared of bears.
Well, bears have no mercy. I saw the Revenant, and that scarred me for life.
Dude, I saw this movie. Um, oh man, what was it called? I forget what the name of it's called. I, anyway, I can't remember the name of it. But so it was quick story. The this couple go into the wood. It's based off a true story. This couple goes into the woods. They go hiking. They get lost. Um, they're like, "Oh, let's go this way," and they're like, "No, let's go the other way." And they're doing all this other stuff. Well, then they notice that a bear has been following them. It was a black bear, so they like try to go through the woods and like, okay, I think we lost them. They probably hiked for like a half a day or something like that, and they like backtrack and we got to make camp. All right, so they make camp somewhere early morning or something like that. They hear something and they're like, the bear's outside, the bear's outside. So he's like, all right, well, let's just see what happens. And then maybe we'll like try to scare him away. And the bear rips through the tent. And in the movie, you see all this stuff. And it scared
Holy
the shit out of me.
shit!
Dude, it really it did. I'm like, I will never go camping. Screw it. I'll go
Yeah,
give me in a camper. The bear tears through the tent. You see the bear just come through the tent, and he, if you see like their claws, you see how big their claws are,
yeah,
and I mean they don't look like it, but they're sharp, right? So the bear takes his claw and just like rips the guy's leg, and the guy's like screaming. He's screaming, like you hear him and you see him like screaming, and he's like getting eaten alive. And he's telling his girlfriend to run, and the bear's in the front of the tent, so she has to like rip through the back of the tent to like get out and run. And he's dead. The bear eats him
yeah.
alive and everything.
That's
But it was just seeing that scene, I was like, yeah,
yeah.
man, no
No,
way, no.
no,
I'd have to
no.
have
Not
like a
dude. Bears are no effing joke. Bears are no effing joke. Like that's one of those things that. Speaking of segue time,
not yet.
but but but
No, yeah.
bears literally terrify me. Like I saw
Yeah,
the
they
Revenant,
terrify me
and
too.
like you have like these different types, right? Like the black bear, they're scavengers, right? The only time a grizzly bear will actually attack you if they're not near their cubs is if you're in their like territory. Black
Mhm.
bears are just trash bears. They will attack you regardless. If they're hungry
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
you look weak, they're coming for you.
yeah. Fu- So, yeah, let me get to this real quick. So the beast of Gavon was a mysterious and legendary creature of series of creatures that terrorized the Gavon region in south central France during the 18th century. The attacks by this unidentified animal or animals took place between 1764 and 1767 and resulted in numerous deaths and injuries. Description of the beast of Gavon varied. It is often described as a large wolf-like creature with reddish or gray fur and pronounced mane. The beast was known for its ferocity and ability to evade hunters. It was said to have frequently targeted shepherds, farmers, and other rural residents. A series of attacks led to widespread panic and fear in the region, and King Louis the 14th, yeah, no, 15th, sorry, my Roman numerals, of France became personally interested in solving the problem. He dispatched professional hunters and soldiers to track down and eliminate the creature. The creature was eventually killed by a local hunter in 1767. Uh, he used It's said that he used a specially crafted silver bullet, which was believed to be effective against supernatural creatures. After its death, the creature was identified as a wolf, but its abnormally large size and aggressive behavior had contributed to the legend that it was something more than an ordinary wolf. The story of the beast has inspired numerous books, films, legends. Some modern interpretations suggest that it may have been a wolf dog hybrid or a particularly aggressive or aberrant individual wolf. However, the true identity of the beast remains subject to of debate and speculation, and it continues to capture the imagination as mysterious and enigmatic chapter in French
Oh,
history folklore. And for many decades, stories of werewolves have been told, and many people claiming to have sightings and run-ins with werewolves have been passed down throughout the years. It's said that most encounters with werewolves often occur in remote or isolated areas, contributing to the sense of fear and mystery. These encounters may happen in forests, desolated roads, and other secluded locations. Those who claim to have had werewolf encounters often describe the experience as traumatic and terrifying with lasting emotional and psychological effects.
what? What, what the f is a werewolf encounter? That makes me so mad. Like, a
No,
werewolf
but you know what I think?
encounter?
But one thing that they've never said is because when I was reading this before, I was like thinking to myself, so a wolf is abnormally large. I mean, I guess maybe it could be, but it's like so vicious and so it's really aggressive and all this other stuff. So does that mean that that a wolf actually, or have they ruled out rabies?
Yeah,
I mean, it could. I
and
mean, I don't know. I haven't seen it. They never suggest that it's like foaming at the mouth, but they're like, it's really aggressive. It's really coming after people and terrorizing people. I mean, I think rabies makes the animal more aggressive and
yeah,
more bold to go after people or any livestock or any other animal, and
yep.
kill it.
And
Um,
also, humans can get rabies too.
right,
Humans can get
right.
rabies too. So if you're bit by a wolf that has rabies, guess what you're getting?
Yeah, and
Rabies.
it like makes your body act all weird too, isn't it? Some
Yeah,
what is that? The like you can't drink water or something?
or some you have hydrophobia, something like that,
Yeah. So like you try to
right?
drink, like you're really thirsty, you try to drink water and you just like spit it out, and you, for whatever
Yeah,
reason you can't swallow it. It's just really weird. But
that's odd.
so there have been supposed sightings of werewolves. Uh there was a werewolf in Wisconsin in 1936. A man claimed to have had an encounter with a creature he believed to be a werewolf in one of the national forests in Wisconsin. He described a tall, hairy, wolf-like creature with an eerie face of a human. He reported that the creature ran on two legs and exhibited behaviors that he found inexplicable. And this
Hmm.
account is often cited in discussions of cryptozoology and werewolf legends throughout the years. It was
Huh.
yeah, so I mean, there were sightings of supposed sightings in Wisconsin of a werewolf. They call it the werewolf of Wisconsin or whatever.
Well,
But again, I
well,
feel like could a wolf had rabies?
could have, but running on the being bipedal, that's different. Wolves are not, and I feel like
No.
a true werewolf, if it's it depends on the legs, like if they
Right.
have like the hocks, like the back
Hmm.
leg of a dog, that's different. Then yeah, you run. That's a werewolf. I get that 100%. They shouldn't be walking like that. But it's like,
No.
you know, like
No.
I don't know, man. I especially Wisconsin, man. I believe it. It's out there in Wisconsin, bro. Like,
Dude, there's so much stuff out there, man. There's so much stuff that we just don't know. And um how do you explain it? How do you explain it? Could be all kinds of stuff.
yeah, it could be anything. It could be a massive misidentification, or it could
Hmm.
be a species that we haven't found yet. But at the same time, what what are the chances of not finding this stuff?
Right.
It's becoming smaller and smaller as humans go everywhere and as everything is so well documented. You know, these lures are getting harder and harder to sell because everyone has a phone, everyone has a camera, everyone, you know, I think at some point we're going to get to the bottom of it all.
Sooner or later.
Yeah, sooner or later, there's going to be no stone left unturned,
Speaking
you
of
know. And
stones,
speaking of stones,
speaking of
um,
stones, I'm sure you've found stones in the Shenandoah.
oh yes, yes,
Did you
but
turn over all of them or just some?
but before we do that, go on that journey.
Uh,
Wait. So speaking of stones and Shenandoah, now I took my wife and we went on this kind of like getaway up there to the Shenandoah Valley, which is, for those of you that don't know, it's in the Appalachian Mountains. That is the East Coast mountain range. And it is a very old mountain range with very old lore. Um,
a lot of lore, done it.
like tons,
Right.
tons of it. And the first thing I did there, and this is why I was like, speaking of bears, first thing I did, which you should never do, we stayed on the park grounds itself,
Mhm.
Shenandoah National Park. We stayed on one of their hotels, and just getting into the resort, I was like, are there bears in the Shenandoah Valley? Well, turns out there's a shit ton of them. There's
Wait,
about
so you
2,000.
did you ask them or did they tell you or did you like look it up?
Well, I looked it up. They're not gonna be like, hey, welcome to Shenandoah. Yeah, get ready. They're
Home
not
of bears.
home of bears. So there's about 2,000 black bears in the Shenandoah
Oh my
Valley.
gosh.
That's that's
Wow.
that's almost like it boils down to like two, 2 to 3 per square mile almost. If you break it down like by square mileage, because Shenandoah Valley is only 300 square miles, and there's roughly estimated 2,000 black bears.
Jeez.
And I'm like, goodness gracious.
So
So
it's almost like if you're on there long enough, you're
you're gonna
you're
see
almost
a effing
guaranteed to see a
yeah,
bear.
you're almost
Wow.
effing guaranteed to see a bear. And that's just the Shenandoah, Virginia side of things, not the whole Appalachian Trail. Like, cause I couldn't even imagine that. But
So
wait,
The whole trail, I know that's pretty far. Like I know
yeah,
people actually hike that. Like they start from one end and go to the other end, which is
yeah,
very dangerous to do.
yeah. Not
And
only
not because of bears, because
no,
but because of the deer.
yep, the deer and also other hikers, and
No, I'm just kidding.
also
I'm just
yeah,
bullshit. No.
yeah, the deer that come
No,
out
they say
and
that
slit
I've
your
heard
throat.
right, yeah. No, I've heard that I've heard like going on those trails is like really dangerous because what is it like a serial kill? They actually say like
There's so many.
a or like two, three serial killers are like walking that trail all the time, camping
Yep,
out there and just waiting for somebody to come along
yeah.
and
And
get you.
I believe it because it's you can disappear easily on that thing, on that
Oh
trail.
hell yeah.
So it is like I believe it's like 3,000 miles long.
Hmm.
It goes from the bottom of Maine to the top of Georgia. So that's massive. That's a
Wow,
massive amount of
man, that's
distance. And
wow, wow.
and
And the people that are
so
lucky enough to make it through, I mean, that is quite an
that's
accomplishment.
that's crazy. It's crazy. But no, so not only is the Appalachian Trail fraught with wildlife, it's also fraught with crazy types of lore and different things that I kind of fell into um researching while I was there. I was like, all right,
Mhm.
how many bears? I'm like, well, the bears, you shouldn't worry about bears. They just said to everyone going to, let's say, it's a beautiful place. It's a it's an absolutely stunningly gorgeous area, right?
I'll go for the day.
Um,
I won't go
yeah,
camping. I'm not gonna bring my a rucksack and be like, oh, let's go camping for a whole week.
No, well, that's the last we saw of you, pretty
Yeah,
much.
forget it. No way. No way.
Because one, there's no cell service in the mountains. That's a huge thing, massive thing. There is absolutely zero cell service, and they are monitored by like park rangers, but not. There's no.
But
There's no
it's like so
high.
few and far between,
Yeah,
isn't it?
there's no high volume traffic on the Appalachian Trail. There's no group of thousands of people going and hiking the Appalachian Trail
So
ever.
besides like wild deer that attack you and raccoons, what about did you notice? Did they ever tell you about the feral people that live up around there? Because
Yes,
I know
yes.
there are feral people up there.
Well, there have to be if you think about it. That's where some of the best moonshine is made, is out in the mountains. So it's very easy to I believe that you can easily live off the land out in Appalachia because towns aren't a thing,
Hmm.
and it's so you I fell down this crazy rabbit hole,
Not
and
literally.
no, not literally. It's very easy to fall out there. And that's the other thing. You do not get hurt out there ever because you're dead. Like you're dead. Where's the hospital? They're not going to find you.
So
So,
is Wrong Turn? Remember the movie Wrong Turn?
mhm.
Is that isn't that on the Appalachian Trail or in that area? Or no?
I f-
Is that something else? Is that a different episode?
I feel like that's out there. I think Deliverance is out there.
Okay.
I think Deliverance is. I want to say is out there too. There's a lot of weird, crazy stuff that's unhinged out there.
Well, I mean, again, like just that trail alone, as far as it goes, there's just so much. I mean, yeah, forget about the animals. I mean, they'll
Yeah,
they'll get you eventually.
yeah.
But like you have the feral people that are
Right.
out there, you have serial killers that are running around there. You just have people that just crazy people that disappear for no reason, not because of they're being killed or anything like that. Just supposed
To
what
disappear,
aliens portals.
or yeah,
Yeah, that
they
just
go
disappear.
there to disappear. Like,
Yeah.
and yes, there's a ton of Bigfoot sightings on the Appalachian Trail. Like, there's a ton of you talk about like cryptid activity. As far as a trail
Hmm.
is concerned, that's where to go. That's where to go. Like, you want to see some weird shit, go out, hike the Appalachian Trail. You'll see something that you
I
can't
don't know.
explain.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go.
No,
I
I
think that
mean,
would scare me. Honestly, I think that would scare
it's
me.
it it's absolutely stunningly beautiful, but it's in the mountains. You're disconnected, and there are people hiking it. I mean, we ran into a couple people with like the big rucksacks, like the Subaru people.
Hmm.
Like, they're out there. Um, and what happens is on my deep dive of, let's say, Shenandoah Appalachian Trail, kind of just your random Google deep dive, right? I stumbled upon there's a unspoken like rule. There are unspoken rules of the Appalachian Trail.
Well, I'm glad that you
And
made it back. Okay, because I mean,
yes, well, thank
I
you.
I I commend you very much for going on that, especially with your wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Well, I
mean,
mean,
seriously,
I just have to be faster than her, at the end of the day. So,
what is she the bait?
yes. Yeah, she's the bait, But at so these unspoken rules are super creepy.
And this is
Super
actually very interesting. You
creepy.
brought this up. I don't know what they are. I remember you said it, and I'm like, let's talk about it because I really want to know what these are.
So I think there's like either 10 or 11. And so the one thing is that the one
Let,
I'll just I don't
let's
they're
go
not
from the
numbered.
worst one. Let's go from the like if you can look at them, if you see them, go what's like the one that's not so creepy, not so bad, to like the worst one where you're like, okay, this one fucking scares me.
Well, there's
Or are
they
they just
all
all
kind
like
of they're all creepy. They're
all right,
all like mad. They're all effing insane, dude. Like,
all right.
let me just try to pull it up. Hold on. I have this. I have this. All right. So shit. I had it up though. I had it up. Let me see. Okay, so here we are. Sorry, the one link that I had up because it kind of jumps around the rules, but I'll tell you. I'll tell you some stuff about it. All right. You never. This is crazy. Oh shit! One sec. I'm pushing buttons.
Oh.
Never works, and it causes it causes my shit to go crazy. So let me just do it like this. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Sorry guys, I appreciate you guys sticking with me on this. All right.
This is worth it, man. This is worth it. So yeah, just read them all, and yeah, we'll just kind of go from there, man. Because it's very interesting.
All right.
I'm actually
So
kind of excited to hear
one of
this.
the rules is never under any circumstances whistle on the trail. Just don't whistle. Don't whistle on
Really?
the trail. Yep.
Because
Yep. It'll bring something to you and it'll alert something to your whereabouts.
really,
All right.
they don't
Yep.
say what.
No, they don't say what. And or you could
The
get a
duende.
response. Or you could get a
Oh,
response.
oh man. Oh,
All
oh
right.
man, really?
That's creepy because like that would be the weirdest thing. You make a whistle and you're in the middle of nowhere and you
And
hear a
then
whistle back.
oh shit.
Yeah, you're not alone. They say another rule is if the woods turn silent, hustle out of there, no matter how long it takes you until the woods start sounding normal, until the birds come back, the noises come back. Because they say
Well, that's a
yeah,
no,
that
no, no,
means
go
a
ahead, go ahead,
big
go ahead, go ahead.
predator, or something is
Yeah,
around
yeah, yeah,
you.
yeah. Right, 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 right. Yeah, because it scares all the wildlife away.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah. They say just keep going no matter how long it takes you. Do not stop. Do not camp. Do not do anything until the woods start sounding normal again. And
Mm.
the other thing is the unspoken rule is if you think you saw something, you didn't.
Mm.
That's just one of the rules. That's
Mm.
just in the beginning of this article. It's like if you think you saw something, you didn't. As in, don't go looking for it.
Just keep going.
Keep your head down and go. Because chances are
You know what's funny is
you did.
that's kind of like when you're in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Like and I remember saying this to saying this before, like, yeah, you're gonna see some stuff when you go in there. Just you see it, act like you didn't see it. You did see it, but just act like you didn't see it and just keep going. Just mind
Yep.
your own business,
Just
keep going.
mind your
Same
own
thing in the
business.
woods, huh? So
Yep. Same
you
thing in the
saw it,
woods.
you don't
You
stop
yeah, you
and
know
go
what
look
you
for it.
saw.
Right. Just keep going.
Just keep going.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's actually pretty cool, man.
if you come up on a campsite, don't touch anything. And it looks abandoned. Never touch anything. Even if you're dying of thirst, even if you want food and they have food and their gear looks fresh, their campfire looks fresh, don't go near an abandoned campsite because chances are, and it touches on what you said, feral people,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You won't see them, but they always will
They
see
are
you.
watching you. They're
Yep.
always like, yeah. Ooh.
Yep. So you don't touch stuff.
You see
Just don't touch
again,
stuff.
again, people, if you're going through here, going through on the trail and you see something, you saw it, just keep going.
Yep.
I
And
don't know how many times we got to tell you,
yeah,
you
just
saw it.
keep going. Um,
Now these are unspoken rules,
yeah,
right?
these are just unspoken
These,
rules. These aren't in
mm.
any handbook. These are just from one park ranger to the next.
You know what
That
though? This should be in a handbook.
100%.
And park rangers should be handing this shit out to people. Like,
Yep.
look, keep yourself safe. There's a lot of creepy shit out there. I'm not telling you what it is because you might not see anything, but something is watching you while you're out there.
Yep. Yep. And the other one
Feral people.
is
Feral
don't. Yeah.
people.
The
I'm
other
telling
one
you,
is
man, those
don't.
those motherfuckers.
Oh no, they're yeah, no, they're out there. They're out there, and they travel
Oh,
together. But
man,
the
they're like
other
a pack
thing
of
is,
wolves.
yeah, pretty much, man. Like, don't. It says don't follow lights in the woods. They're not flashlights. Like, like just don't.
Torches?
No, lights. Don't follow lights in the woods. They are not flashlights. Like sometimes you'll be hiking and it starts getting dark. You'll
And you
see a
see
light
lights.
and like, oh, that's someone coming to
Don't go
find
to
me,
it.
or don't
Don't
go
go to the
towards it.
light is basically what it should say. You see
Don't.
a light, don't go to the stay away from the light. Don't go towards the light.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
bad.
That
It's
is
not
that
something
is.
good. You're
Yep. That
not
is
going to the
not.
other side to see, a nice happy place.
Nope.
It's the
That
total
is
opposite.
that is not a lost hiker. That is not someone in need. That is something or someone trying to lead you off the path. So, and the
How
other
many
one,
people
I,
how many people do you think have died where they
oh,
had to come up with these rules like that? You know what I mean?
I
Like
think
how many
I think more people went missing than are ever found dead. Does that make sense? Because of what's out there.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because you're in the woods. It's like taking a trip walking through the desert. There could be
Yeah.
people out there. And if you trip and fall and hurt yourself and you die out there, nobody's going to find you.
Nope. Nope. Because
Nobody's
the
going to
bears
find
are going
you.
to eat you. Mountain lions are going to eat you. Like whatever it is, you will disappear. The other thing is,
This is
if there
this is
is,
actually pretty cool.
if
It's creepy. It's creepy
it's
shit, but it's
creepy.
cool.
It's creepy. If there is an old woman, right? If there's an old woman asking for directions, you must entertain her to help her find her way to the path or where she's going. And
What?
that'll bring you good luck. That is a supposed
What?
spirit of an elderly lady there that got lost, and she was found like not even 10 feet away from the path. She was just
Oh,
and
what? Are you serious?
yeah, and so
Oh,
it brings you
so
good
help the
luck.
old lady.
Help the old lady find her way on the path,
Wow.
on the path. It's on the path. Yeah.
So she's like,
Yeah.
"Where's the path?" Be like, "It's this way. Go this direction."
Yep. And
Wow,
it'll
that's
bring you like good luck, right? And if not, someone in your party or that you will know will go missing. That's what they say. And I'm like, that's terrifying.
so you see the old lady, help her out. Just give her a
Yep.
hand. There's nothing wrong with helping an old lady. She might look
Yep.
creepy.
Yep.
Just help her out. Don't don't be an asshole.
No, dude. And like, let me see if I can, because this thing is like a little bit glitchy.
Janky. Yeah.
Like the website, yeah, a little bit. Um,
That's great. That's actually
like,
that's creepy,
uh,
but it's kind of cool. Like, ooh, man,
oh,
help the old lady out.
this is hold on. This is the terrifying one. This is the terrifying one.
Oh, okay. All right.
If you hear your name being called, you did it.
Oh man, I never. I don't care. If I'm
Or
walking down the street in like some other neighborhood and somebody called my name, I didn't hear my name. Nobody's calling me. They don't know me.
and that happens a lot is you'll hear a voice that you shouldn't
That
be
happens a
hearing in the
lot.
woods. Yeah, like that happens a lot. It's like you'll hear your name or a voice calling out to you from a voice that you know. And that's so freaking wild. And a lot of people,
Dude, that's scary.
what
That's
this says
scary.
is if you're lost, that starts happening.
Hmm.
Right? If
So
you're
wait, so
lost,
it's not a good spirit that's trying to get you back to safety. It's a
no.
bad spirit, It's a bad omen that's trying to lure you deeper into the woods to get you.
Yep. And they say if you're going
I'm
to,
gonna get you.
if you were they say, okay, so if you're at a campsite for more than 2 days, you must leave a gift. You got to
What if
leave a gift in that
what if
spot.
you don't what if you don't have a gift? Wait, so well, what kind of gift? Anything?
Exactly.
Like a lighter?
Anything. Lighter, whatever. Any kind of anything, just leave something.
Condom?
And 90% of times, 90% of the times, that thing will be gone. Even if you do an about face and come back in within an hour. That
So
that
it's
piece,
it's not what do you call it? It's not like a squirrel that comes by and like grabs it real quick, or like a raccoon that comes by
it could
and grabs it.
it could be, or it couldn't be. I would like to think it's a squirrel that follows all the backpackers.
Oh,
Oh, dude, let me see
maybe
if I
maybe the forests are live like in the cartoons. We
now
just don't know it.
now let me see. I went hiking maybe like a couple months ago with my wife, and I saw something in the woods, and I saw this because on the History Channel you see these
Dude,
old
you gotta go.
people like
You gotta stop hiking in the woods with your wife.
I know, right? I'm trying to
Yeah,
find it because there's some
yeah. She might like it.
weird.
Go to Sugarloaf Mountain, or go take her for a walk around, like at the Rio, around the lake.
I know, right?
Yeah, take her over there.
Let me see if I have it.
Don't take her on the Appalachian where there's feral people that like want to take her.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna send you something on your phone, and I'll see if I can get it to focus on my
Yeah. So while you're doing that, real quick, so I did look it up. There was a show back in it was in 80s. It ran from 87 to 88, and it was called Werewolf. Yeah, and it
There
only
you
lasted
go.
one season. It lasted one season with 29 episodes, and the first episode was 2.5 hours long.
Wow.
Yeah,
Damn. Talk about
yeah,
a pilot, dude. Talk about a
yeah.
pilot, bro.
And the rest of the episodes were 24 minutes long, obviously, because they were half hour. Back then, it shows weren't an hour long. They were only 20. They were only like half an hour. But
Yeah.
still, I think that's kind of cool. Um, yeah, just
And
while you're looking that up.
so I got it. And I sent it to you. I'm gonna
Okay, let
see
me
if I
see.
can. So you'll walk in the woods, and if you're deep woods, not traverse woods, you'll find things like what I sent you.
Oh, mm-hmm. Oh, well, that
That's
usually is like a bad thing.
well, yeah. You don't you
I
don't touch
always
them.
right. Well, yeah, no, hell no, 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 no. I usually associate that with a death.
Yeah, I I assume nothing. I'm pretty sure that is. So let me see if I can get a good shot of it. I don't
Can
know if
you?
it'll focus on it. Let me see if I
Uh,
can.
so
Let me see. Hold on.
if you're watching, you can
Let me see.
kind of
Hold
see
on.
it.
Let me see if I can. So it's a log out there. Hold on. How do I?
Pull it
Let
back a
me
little
see if.
bit. Pull it back. No,
Hold on. Let me
no.
cover the camera real quick. Let me just. I can't. My camera's too
Ah,
awesome.
where'd you go?
Hold on. Anyway, so this is like this wooden cross
Basically,
that
what it
someone made
is a cross that's in a log. Let me see
in
if
a
my
log.
well,
I don't know.
no,
I'm gonna
mine's
try to figure
actually
it
even
out.
worse. Oh
Oh,
wait,
yeah, I
there
can
it
see
is.
yours
Oh,
like that. If you,
oh,
yep, there you go. Just
so
like, hold on, hold on.
it's
Stay like that. Let me
right
see.
there. Look at that.
There you go. There you go. Like that, right? Yeah, you don't touch that stuff.
Yeah, that
But
right there.
that's an example of a trinket or a gift to leave. Something that's not of the woods or something that is made by you. That won't be there when you come back around.
And to touch it means doom.
Is yeah, you don't touch that stuff because it's not yours. You know what I mean? If you find stuff like that, don't touch it. Don't touch it. If you didn't drop it, don't pick it up.
Anybody that's gone hiking and has come across things like that, take pictures of it, send it to us. I like to see them.
Yeah. Because there's
On this
a
show, we're
lot of
interactive, okay?
hell yeah.
We're very interactive. So please, if you're out there,
Hold on. Let me see if I can
come on.
get to another.
Hey, shout out to Beth and Allie and all them for being very interactive. I appreciate it. By the way,
Oh hell yeah!
cheers to you guys over there in good old Ireland. I'm going over there one year. I'm telling you, what happened?
You got to. Definitely got to. All right, so
there's a lot of good, cool stuff over there to go check out.
It's because I pushed something.
No, stop it.
Yeah, and I made us lag for a little bit. So I'm done pushing buttons. But pretty much, there's a ton. Oh, the other one that got me was if you're in a camper or a cabin somewhere on the Appalachian Trails, sleep with your blinds closed. Don't sleep facing the window.
No, because something always looks in.
Yep.
It's almost like inviting something to come and knock on your window, look in, bust your door in. It's always no, thank you.
And
no, I'm okay.
No matter what you hear knocking on your door, don't open it. Like, and this is one of those things that like is more built for like those cabins in the woods. Like they have them along the Appalachian Trail sporadically for like hikers to kind of take a rest.
I've heard of that. They're like shelters, right? Like you're traveling, you're supposed to stop there. They're supposed to aren't they supposed to be full with like some
phone?
I think it's supposed to have like a phone and some wood in it or something like that. Just like little stuff to kind of keep you warm and whatever.
Yep. But they say don't invite strangers into your groups. Don't if you don't know them, don't trust them. So, but that's just kind of along the lines
that's
of
kind of common sense,
serial.
Right?
Yeah, that's like serial killer-ish stuff. Like no shit. But the whole thing is if you hear a noise outside of whatever, don't go looking for it. It's like a given that weird shit happens. I mean, the light in the woods is a thing. We know that. Fucking orbs and shit. I know that 100%.
Well, yeah, you don't go looking, no, because it no.
And especially the thing is, if you hear your name being called, F that. I will run. And the whistling thing, that's mad creepy too.
No, I mean, come on. I mean, I'll never whistle again.
Yeah. I'm only going to whistle indoors.
No, I don't even want to do that. Because actually, if you do whistle on a construction site, they do whistle back.
Yeah.
That's how you know. But it's not really a whistle, though.
No.
It's more like hey, I need you to down and go. And they're like, yeah, see. They go fucking do it,
But I doubt there are any of them on the Appalachian Trail.
They could be. Hey, you never know, man.
You never know. You never know.
If you see pipes, getting built there, know that they're
there. Then you'll hear the whistle. You don't whistle. Don't initiate
that whistle. That whistle, I won't mind. I'm okay with that one. I feel a little more comfortable. I'm like, and they're like, oh yeah. I was like, we're good.
Man.
We're good. We're safe.
But
that's funny.
I mean, I feel like
is that all of them? Is that all the?
Yeah.
Is that all the?
Yeah, that's all. That's all like the. That's all the big ones. There's a ton of them. Unspoken rules. But
come on, man, give me one more.
Oh, that's it. That's it for my little article that I pulled up.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh man.
Yep. But I've watched a couple of videos that go deep into it, and so maybe the next time, if people really want us to dive down, and there's so much we could do on the Appalachian Trail, and that's in our backyard. We could totally do a deep dive out there in the woods about the crazy weird shit and the tons the tons of cases of murder out there. There's so many
Yeah,
unsolved.
I
Just
I feel like there should be more park ranger, uh, airborne-esque type people patrolling that whole trail, you know? I
yep.
mean, because it's just like, what is a I mean, really, what does a park ranger do
Just
besides chase bears away from picnic sites?
oh man. Have you heard some of their stories, man? They're crazy, dude. Like
Dude, yeah, that's a
talk
whole
about
episode or
talk about
2.
fighting like drug traffickers. That's a huge part of their job. A massive part of their job is out there doing that. Park rangers have to
That's
deal with like
probably
the
that's
cartel
probably some of
shit.
the people that get killed out there too, you know? They stumble
Yeah.
upon a tent or whatever of a trafficker or whatever,
Yep.
and I'm sure some of those people even actually get trafficked, you know,
Yeah.
human,
Yes. Correct. Yes.
what do they call it?
Adult. I forgot. I forgot. But there's a name we there's a way we phrased it last time that made our
Yeah,
YouTube episode go up. Okay. So
right. So, yeah, so I mean, yeah, so they
unwanted human relocation.
yeah, that's it. Yes, yes. Yes. Yeah, so
Um,
that's what happens. There's a lot of unwanted human relocation that can happen there.
think about it. Think about the people that need to do stuff out of the public eye or need to operate outside of the public eye. Those are mostly the people that are on the Appalachian Trail. You'll have a few
Oh
people
man,
that'll just do the
I would hate to
scenes
be a
and
park
stuff,
ranger.
but
I
oh,
honestly
dude,
would hate to be a park ranger
I
because it always seems like a very lonely job,
yeah, there's a high divorce rate
and
in park rangers. I bet.
yeah, but I mean, I feel like park rangers though should be at least in pairs.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, I
I
feel like
would
they
think
should be in
so.
pairs because
But I
I
mean,
think it's so dangerous to be by yourself.
especially out there, especially out there in some like the hardest to hike places. No way. But there's stuff out there that is just unexplainable, that is shared, and it's just common knowledge.
That's
How
crazy.
often, like I said,
It's
in
crazy.
order for that to be a common like unspoken rule, how many times that's a massive learning curve. How
Yeah,
creepy is to come back to
yeah,
like base camp like, did you guys hear my name being called? That's fucking weird.
yeah.
Or I heard you guys whistling for me and no one whistled.
No one's
That's
whistling. Like I can't even whistle.
yeah, yeah, no way. But anyway, that's my little story. I think it's just the iceberg of something the tip of the iceberg. That's something massive that we could go down on
Dude,
this channel because the
that
stories
is
are
actually
endless.
very creepy.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh
It
yeah.
actually is very creepy.
Yeah.
Very
And
creepy.
it's so believable because it's such a massive place. It's such a massive expanse of wilderness. Like it's beautiful, but man, f that. F that. Gorgeous.
No, the pictures I've seen of it are actually really pretty.
But that's it.
But
I'll only stick by the road. Like that's pretty much it. That way at least I'll get killed by an axe murderer or a serial killer, not like some entity. Like if
uh,
I'm going out, it's not by a effing bear or ghost of some old lady or some orb that nukes me into another dimension.
yeah, you can forget that, man. I'm not gonna go on that fucking trail.
But anyway, man.
I was looking feral people, and I'm like, dude, there's no way, man. That's that movie Wrong Turn, man. No way. It's feral
Oh
people.
yeah. Yeah.
No, man. And they oh, it's too weird.
Yep. No, no.
It's too weird.
People go out there not to get found, and you shouldn't go looking for them. You know?
I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people commit suicide out there too.
Oh, 100%. 100%. You know, it's because I feel like it's either way. Like you're out there, you want to be surrounded by nature, right? And you don't want to get found to escape, to get away. Um, People that
Hmm.
are not so happy go out there and unalive themselves pretty often, I bet.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure, and I mean, you're not going to get found out there. You're just not. You
No,
know.
no. And you know how the park services with their missing people's lists. They that's the one thing they cling to very closely. Like they don't
Hmm.
let that public
Yeah,
record go at all, ever, for anyone.
that's a very
So,
interesting topic as well. You know.
oh yes. Oh yes. The, I love I maybe we're jumping ahead, but the story of not just the people that were missing, but the people that were missing for a significant amount of time and came back and how much more different they were. That's interesting.
Hmm. Hmm.
Is the people that were found were
Hmm.
never like quite the same.
Yeah, something was up. Something's wrong with
Yeah.
them.
But yeah, man. So
Hmm.
that was my little trip.
Interesting.
My little that was my little trip out there, man. Definitely
Yeah,
worth it.
that's it's kind of creepy. Yeah, I wonder if you stand on the side of the road. I wonder if you stand on the side of the road and you whistle. Does anybody whistle back to you? So do
I
you have to wait?
still
So do you have to be on the
I-
trail?
yeah,
I
this
know
is
I
all
kind of want to like drive past
Appalachian
it and
Trail
whistle.
stuff.
I want to like do a drive by, like drive by, stick my head out and then like whistle and like see if anybody
Yeah.
whistles back. Somebody whistles back
Smart.
as I drive. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
no,
Or you
because then
just
I'll hear
summon
them
it
like
out of the
getting
woods to follow you. You look in the rear
that's
view and
it. That's
monsters
right.
just
And something,
freaking
yeah. There's like a
no.
bear and there's like a Mothman and feral
Yeah, it's
people
feral
running
people.
after me. Like, no thanks,
Like,
man.
oh my
Forget
god,
it.
fuck
I'm not
that.
even gonna attempt it. I'll go to the Appalachian. Yeah, I won't. I'm not gonna forget
No, no.
it. Mm-mm.
Trust me. And
I
it's
like it. I
mad
like it. I
quiet. Like
like seeing.
n-
Oh man.
no, what for us when we were staying in our room and we had a little balcony out there on the like second floor, you look out into the mountain range. Not
Hmm.
one light. No effing buddies out there. As far as you could see, that valley was pitch black. And I'm like, dude,
You know what's actually crazy is you look out there and you're like, it's so dark. You're in the middle of nowhere. There's no light. Nothing's there. Somebody's watching you.
yeah, that's
How creepy is that?
yeah, that's what
Somebody,
I'm saying.
there's
Is
feral
like,
people sitting there like, yeah, I'm gonna get you.
yep,
I'm gonna get you.
come
That's what
on
they're
to the
saying. I'm gonna
Appalachian
get you.
Trail.
Feral.
I'll see you. Yep.
Yeah. Whistle for me. I'll find you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if
Exactly.
anybody ever whistles out of their out on the balcony.
I would never. I would shut them up. I would lock the doors. Fuck that. Fuck that. Don't go
Shut the
whistling
fuck
on the
up.
balcony. Yeah. Are you crazy? But no, it's wild, man. That's I never I always go if I'm hiking, if I know we're hiking, like it's so funny. I over prepare, right? My wife is like, why'd you pack that? I got my machete, my little mini machete. I got my pocket knife.
Like
I got a effing lighter in a Ziploc bag. I got yeah, I got shit to make light, you know? Like that is it. I've seen too many movies. I'm not wasting time with a flashlight. We're going old school fire and effing toilet paper, cologne, alcohol wipes, whatever it is. We're gonna burn the forest fucking
hmm.
down. I'm gonna make people see me from
Yeah,
fucking space.
I I think you're right. I think I'd probably start a forest fire just
Yep,
because.
just because. Just because. I'll be so effing
It,
terrified. I'm
bec-
burning it
well,
all
because you know,
down.
once you start having smoke, yeah, as soon as you have that a good amount of smoke and flames coming, the helicopters and
Yep.
park rangers and all of them are like going to start coming in. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
I'm with you on that. I think
Like
I think
that's
I'd
the
bring like a little canteen full of gasoline just so I could pour it.
yeah, right. I'm just like, hey man, if I'm either gonna get a damaged what is it? Arsony yeah, like I'm gonna get arson charge,
Arson.
but arson, I'll have an arson
Yeah,
charge on me, but I will be
I like
alive.
an arsony charge better.
Yeah, arsony, the act of arson. Not an
In
arsonist,
past
arsony,
tense.
like lycanthropy. Lycanthropy and arsony. You heard it here first, folks. We fix those words for you. That's what we do here. Lycanthropy and arsonry.
Oh,
Like, not
lycanthropy.
not 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 archery, arsonry. Oh man.
Oh man, good
Oh
stuff.
man.
No man, that was
Anyway.
good. I like that. That was actually pretty creepy. Yeah, and that makes me not want to get on the Appalachian Trail at all.
Uh,
Even more. Forget it. I don't want to get on there. I'd rather
hmm.
stick to uh, where I live
The
at is deep enough
rivers and
in the
lakes that
woods.
you're used to. The rivers and lakes that you're
Yeah,
used to.
that's it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Yep, I'm fine with that
Yep.
because I know how if anything happened, I'm good.
Pretty much. And
Anyway,
I'm
all
with
right,
you.
man.
I'm with
Well,
you, man.
thank you, everybody. Yeah, heck yeah, man. No, man. I mean, this is like, I don't want to go any more into the woods. This is it. No,
Oh man.
no, no. But thank you, man. Thanks for coming up. Thank you for joining us on this enigmatic journey
Ooh.
into the lore of werewolves. Surprisingly, I didn't call him Wolverine because that's what I
Yeah,
was
surprisingly.
when I was reading it. I was kept saying Wolverine for whatever reason. I kept saying Wolverine. Stupid. And
Uh,
and the and the lore of the Appalachian Trail,
dun,
which
dun,
is
dun.
creepy as fuck.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
creepy as
So
fuck,
please,
man.
please, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, share, and tell your friends about it, man. Please.
Definitely.
We're trying to hit 100 subscribers
1,000. Oh,
and
100 is
more.
good. And more.
I'm
And
shooting
more.
I'm shooting for 100. Once I get there, then we can ask for a little bit more.
Just keep adding
You know,
zeros. Keep adding zeros
yeah.
to it.
Just keep. Make uh more accounts and just keep subscribing to subscribe to
Yeah,
our
there you
channel.
go.
I don't care who
There you go.
it.
Do it for the guinea
Yeah.
pigs, guys.
Remember,
Oh, man.
each subscription saves a guinea pig.
Theoretically. Or at least we would like to hope so.
Right, yeah.
Uh,
That's what we're hoping for.
yes.
Yes. Once we make enough money, I'm going to go to Petco or PetSmart and buy all the guinea pigs and set them free.
And we will set them free in Papua New Guinea. That is
No,
we will send them home.
I'm gonna go to the Right. I'm actually gonna take them to the Appalachian Trail with little whistles on them and send them out into the set them out on the trail, see what
Yeah,
happens.
could you imagine? They
Really,
would look
really
like
mess
fucking
with
like
those.
they would turn into like Ewoks, dude.
Dude, if you could do that, just buy like a whole bunch of them and like put little lights on them, little flashlights on them and whistles. And as they run around, they're just whistling and all these lights are all over the place.
Dude,
I wonder
that
what
would be
happened. I just wonder what happened. That'd be so funny.
that would be
That'd be so
terrifying.
funny.
That would be terrifying to see. Like the
Oh
Duendes
man.
are attacking. The Duendes. They've militarized. They're everywhere.
Oh man. That's so funny. All right. Well,
Oh man.
thank you all for joining us on this, whatever this episode was, man. Whatever. But thank you. Hey, for joining us on our train wreck of a podcast. Thank you, Daniel, again from Aries and the Nation.
Thank you for having me. Thank you
and
for
to
having me.
the feral people that might be listening on somebody else's radio, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. And until next time, peace.